Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video discussion topic on Naruto and basically chapter 671. Going to be talking about destiny, going to be talking about the overall story of Naruto, and my whole thoughts on this reincarnation thing that basically the Sage of the Six Paths, sons, Ashura and Indra, are the reincarnated, basically they're their chakra, their spirit, has been reincarnated into Madara and Hashirama, and then afterwards, of course, Naruto and Sasuke. Alright, so a good number of people have gone ahead and asked me to sort of give an update, give my thoughts on what's going on in Naruto, because it's been pretty intense. For a while now, it seems like things are coming to a final climax. We're going to be seeing probably the final few battles in Naruto, and the manga, as well as the anime later on, will eventually be coming to an end within supposedly a year or two, but we'll have to see how this all gets wrapped up. At the pacing we're going at right now, I wouldn't be surprised if this manga was still being released in a couple years, to be honest with you. That said, people really want to hear my thoughts on this one, and I kind of want to get them out there as well too for anybody who's interested in the series, because anyone who's followed my channel, seen some of my Naruto videos, kind of knows how I feel about Naruto. And the reason why I'm not as into it as I used to be is essentially the writing of the overall series, particularly with regards to Naruto and this whole, I want to call it comparison between, or not comparison, but this whole destiny thing. Him destined to be, who he is, basically. This, for me, is really detrimental to the series as a reader. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not. I'm going to try to make this not turn into a rant or anything of the sort. Naruto is one of my favorite manga and anime of all time that I've ever seen. I really read. I really enjoy Naruto. I liked it most of the way through, pretty much. And sometimes I question: is this my favorite, anime of all time, manga of all time, or isn't it? Now I can specifically say it's not. It's not my favorite of all time, because of the writing and the way that Kishi's gone with the story the last couple years, and the destiny thing. I was a fan of Naruto when it first started out, and I felt like it was kind of established early on that Naruto wasn't supposed to be some kind of genius ninja. He was supposed to be this class clown, this failure, this character that through hard work overcame his inefficiencies, his by birth. If you guys remember, him being held back and stuff like that early on, it's equivalent of like in real life, you're held back in like elementary school, grade school. Not somebody that's supposed to become this genius later on that's going to save the world or defeat pain or do all these things he's done. And then as the story goes through, we find out more about Naruto's character. It's always these reveals. It's one reveal after another. And to this point, I'm actually getting kind of sick of it, because it's like, at first, okay, he's working so hard. He's killing himself. I don't know what he's doing. He's using a blade to cut himself to defeat one opponent, or he's digging through the ground against another one to overcome, in the tournament, or whatever the case may be, in the Chunin exams, or that kind of thing, when he was fighting against Neji, if you guys remember. All of these things he would do to put himself in harm's way to do the right thing, to defeat opponents, or just whatever he'd have to do, put himself just through the ringer to get things done, right? To just whatever he had to do, he'd do it, anything, right? Going from that, Kishi has now reversed that to the exact opposite of that 100%. Even more, like as much as you possibly can. If it wasn't already that he is the son of a Hokage, right? Of one of the best there's ever been. So there you got a little bit of the destiny thing. Now, to add to that, we find out that he is actually the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths' son, one of them, and then Sasuke is the other, or is supposed to be, but there was Madara in there, and that kind of, I don't know, that did something to it, I guess we could say, with the whole reincarnation thing. So it's like, if it wasn't bad enough that already you've established that he's the son of a Hokage, so he's gifted, which conflicts with the story at the beginning of the manga, where you establish that he's not gifted. He's not gifted. He's not skilled. He's got to work way harder to get to where he's at than everybody else because it doesn't come naturally to him, right? That was established early on. And now you're flipping that and saying, no, that's not the way it is. That's not at all. And in fact, he is got this, he's got this chakra inside of him, the 9 tails, and also in addition to that, he's all you see where I'm getting? This is too much. This is getting to, as a reader, as a fan of the series, as someone who cares, this is getting to be too much. Now, I said this wasn't going to be a rant, so it's not going to be. I'll relax. Don't worry. I'm passionate about it because I love it. That's why, or I did. So first you establish that he is not gifted, and now you reverse that, which you can't do. That's contrived. That doesn't make sense with the story and how the story's been going. But anyway, nevertheless, let's give him a pass on that because Kishi, he's written some amazing stuff throughout the course of Naruto with some like Toby and his identity, and so some really nice reversals and some really nice writing throughout the series. But basically what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to start out by saying at the beginning that he's not gifted, he's not special, nothing aside from having the Kyuubi inside him, the that chakra there, and having battled his inner demons and stuff like that. He, establishing that he has to work hard to get to where he's at. And now you're saying that he doesn't have to work hard at all to get where he's at. He's just got this ridiculous chakra inside of him because of this reincarnation. In addition to that, of course, the Kyuubi, and then of course his heritage. That his father was a Hokage. So this guy is as destined as you could possibly be to be successful with almost no effort. What am I gonna say about that? I mean, you completely contradict where the series started out at. See, I was more of a fan of in the beginning to see this guy that against all odds was able to overcome his inefficiencies and defeat others that are supposedly geniuses, that like Neji and the others that are supposed to be way better than him, and he's not supposed to have any chance, and he's just supposed to be this failure and all this. See, I liked a story like that where you have a character that rises to the occasion, that works so hard that it can inspire you as a person in your own life to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, versus somebody that's just like I'll compare it to a basketball player that's 7'5" and has some, let's say, coordination. Like if you're bored, you're 7'5", some coordination, you're fairly athletic. Yeah, you can probably become a pro basketball player. Probably could pretty easily because it's just you. It's in your genetics. It's who you are. It wouldn't be that hard, right? At least go to a college team. I would say it wouldn't be that hard at all. Versus somebody that's like against all odds. He still is able to accomplish his dreams and save people's lives and do all these things. The impact of the story for me as a reader is 100% different from the destiny perspective, and he's just destined to be it. And the other perspective where he had to work his butt off to get to where he's at. And we saw him training and just going through all kinds of grueling hardship. And it wasn't like he just had this spirit, this mountain of energy inside of him that just meant that he had this unfair advantage all the way through. Right? So I think you guys kind of get where I'm going with this. I think you know what I'm getting at with this. To me, it's a destiny versus overcoming obstacles and becoming the best you can be, through hard work, though, not through being gifted in that way, which again, like I said, it's contrived because the opposite in the beginning. You could argue it to try to make sense, but I say simplify it and just look at it for what it is. It's contrived. It was started off, he was supposed to be this type of character. Now we flipped it, right? That's what happened. And people can say, oh, well, it was because he wasn't socially accepted or whatever, but he hated him, the teachers hate him. Don't make accommodations for the fact that it's contrived. I wouldn't say that because it wasn't established and it was obvious to the reader or the viewer, and I've seen the original Naruto anime a few times over because I really enjoy it. I think it's awesome. But it was clearly established that he had to work really, really hard to get to where he's at, and he was not this just gifted reincarnation of some, crazy ninja that was one of the best ever, this type of thing. So really just, oh man, not impressed. Of course, I'm going to continue to watch Naruto to finish it up because I've been invested in it since I was in like high school. Like so many years. I check it out. I stay up to date with it. I read it almost every week when it comes out. I check it out and everything. So I'm going to keep on it. But there's other characters I like. For example, Rock Lee is the opposite of that, where it's established too that he's not gifted. He can't use, like almost any techniques or anything. So he has to work. He's a hardworking genius. And I like that a lot. So there's a character I like. It's just that I thought Naruto was kind of similar to that in his own way, that there was others out there that were supposed to be way more gifted than him and supposed to be way better, but he beat them. He found a way to, that type of thing. So I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to go over it too many times, but let me know what you guys think about this topic. The whole Naruto gifted reincarnation of, the son of the Sage of the Sixth Path, same with Sasuke, or the opposite of someone having to work really hard against all odds and overcoming those obstacles and becoming one of the greatest ever at whatever he's doing. Is it being a ninja? Is it even in real life, becoming the greatest at whatever it is they're doing? Which story do you prefer? It's kind of a no-brainer to me anyway of which one I prefer. One's inspiring, the other is not all that interesting because it's kind of set up to be that way anyway. Right? Because there's this mountain of fire inside of him anyway. He's got this mountain of energy, right? This chakra that he's inherited, so to speak, this resurrection. He's set up to be it before birth. Right? Exactly. Not much of an argument. People will still try to argue, but I don't really think there is much of an argument. But let me know what you guys think, though, in terms of whether or not you like it, you hate it, how you feel about it. That I'd like to hear from you guys. What you think about that and this whole writing and the way it's gone. So kind of a bit of a complaining type video, kind of a bit of a negative video, but sometimes I got to put it out there because I care about the series that I talk about. I care about the shows that I do. And when one writes itself into the ground in terms of its lead character, I want to go ahead and do a video about that, give my thoughts about that. So let me know what you guys think. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trap, as always. Saying peace.